Hello and welcome everyone to this session on measuring and communicating success across teams, stakeholders, and leaders using a multi-layered approach to help you going beyond plain platform adoption or user satisfaction metrics and to measure success more holistically, to align it with stakeholders and to showcase the platform's value. My name is Dirk and I'm a solution architecture leader, former product manager, and open source enthusiast. When I was reading the recent State of Platform Engineering report by platformengineering.org, I was really shocked. 45% of organizations do not measure any metrics, and 37% focus on DORA metrics mostly, despite the known limitations and risks of abusing it Brian Finster highlighted in his white paper on the same topic. That's weird if you consider the invaluable guidance which exists, partially since years. A number of foundational books and frameworks offers valuable perspectives on defining and measuring success in platform engineering. Many of the books shown here provide a lot of guidance on defining a clear platform strategy with clear objectives and success criteria, as well as highlighting the importance of stakeholder alignment, qualitative feedback, and end-to-end value streams, from infrastructure and technology to business outcomes. And we are not running short on frameworks, although most of those are focusing only on a small fraction of the broader scope and purpose of platform engineering. And let's not forget the incredibly helpful guidance on success measurement in different maturity levels, like those from CNCF or Microsoft. But we can't afford to ignore measuring success. It's far too critical for the following reasons. So first, we need to align with business goals and maintain stakeholder buy-in. We need to demonstrate value by quantifying return of investment and customer impact. And we need to objectively prioritize investments and platform roadmap, and we need to drive continuous improvement. And success means achieving the intended outcomes for users and the business, not just completing tasks. A feature being shipped is just an output, but it's only successful if it delivers value. So despite the abundance of guidance, frameworks, and maturity models, success measurement remains a real-world challenge. But no worries, I'm not here to throw another framework at you. Instead, I want to show you how you can get more out of the frameworks you already use, which hopefully, at least in the future, will go beyond DORA or not measuring at all. Since quite a few years, I use the success definition from Matthew Skelton to foster platform engineering teams focusing on developer experience rather than just infrastructure. Looking deeper into the statement, it goes even beyond DevX, since it talks about the success of streamlined teams. And a streamlined team's success is ultimately defined by its ability to deliver continuous end-to-end value to its users with a high quality and minimal handoffs, which already includes customer and stakeholder impact and value. So if I take the success definition from team topologies and combine it with one of the commonly accepted purpose statements for platform engineering, I would come up with the following definition of success for platform engineering, as you can see on the bottom of the slide. This definition of success goes beyond streamlined teams and DevX or DORA metrics. It's about removing every barrier to value, boosting every team's impact from ops to customers, and measuring outcomes across the full value stream, not just outputs. So let's find out how we can apply this to the topic of success measurement and how our traditional success measurement and data flow needs to evolve. Let me explain the model I recommend you to use to define, align, communicate, and verify success across different layers and personas within each. Platform engineering success needs to be measured through 4 interconnected layers, each building upon the other to create value throughout the organization. The platform infrastructure layer builds the foundation of reliability, security, and efficiency. The developer experience layer, which is all about empowering developers with tools and workflows. On top of it, you will find the product innovation layer, focusing on accelerating product development and feature delivery. At the top, the business outcome layer, focusing on delivering measurable business impact and growth. And all those layers are interconnected through collaboration and alignment across all 4, ensuring shared goals, and most important, for a holistic success measurement. Each of the 4 layers brings its own priorities and personas associated with. And each persona with their own goals, success criteria, KPI, and expectations, both for the platform itself and for the platform engineering team. By measuring success at each layer with appropriate metrics for relevant stakeholders, platform engineering teams can better communicate their value, secure continued investment, and focus their efforts on the area where they will have the greatest impact and success. Effective communication, alignment, and feedback loops must be tailored accordingly, as these personas differ significantly in terms of seniority, priorities, attention span, and perspective. So let me pick up one example to go a little bit deeper. This layer builds on the foundation provided by the underlying ones. If the platform successfully reduces cognitive load and offers self-service capabilities with ready-to-use building blocks and environments, it frees up valuable time for developers. However, that alone doesn't define success. What truly matters is how the time is used. To create real impact, it must be reinvested in meaningful work, like driving innovation. Innovation requires not just good ideas, but the ability to implement them quickly and requires flexibility. Rapid experimentation therefore often means experimenting outside of the platform, since the ideas wouldn't be novel if already provided by the platform. If innovation is the primary goal, then commonly used frameworks like DORA need to be complemented with approaches that specifically focus on innovation, such as design thinking, open innovation, or lean innovation. As shown on the right, these frameworks emphasize entirely different metrics. To effectively communicate success to stakeholders at this level, it's important to map your available data to those innovation-focused metrics, rather than relying solely on traditional indicators like cycle time or MTDR. Therefore, your feedback surveys should include a question on how developers spend the time the platform freed up, and whether they're using it for innovation or other key success areas in the product innovation layer we are discussing here. But let's expand on stakeholders and user-centric messaging a bit. Typically, I draw a clear line between four key persona in the context of platform engineering. Only stream-aligned teams are the customers who are using the platform services to reduce cognitive load and to innovate. And we have stakeholders who are critical functions determining our platform priorities, but they aren't our customers with a clear impact on prioritization. And then we have sponsors, the ones who define business outcome goals and priorities, and we need them to empower both the stream-aligned teams and the platform team. And let's not forget, typically they are paying the platform party and fund the platform team and platform efforts. But here it's getting tricky. If I'm talking about stakeholders and sponsors, I literally mean nearly every function which directly or indirectly benefits or suffers, if not done well, from our platform engineering efforts. And given the nature of value streams and platform engineering is supposed to support those, this includes nearly every relevant function in our organization, even external parties in many cases. It's important to understand the impact of your work on a variety of different stakeholders and which of their objectives or goals your platform is supporting. So let me choose one of those to provide a more concrete example on why it matters. So let me pick up my favorite stakeholder, both given my background in this space, but also knowing that it's one of the most difficult areas, not just for platform engineering. In order to think outside in and to work backwards from the perspective of a CISO or your security and compliance team, you need to know their goals and how their success is defined and measured. Equally important is, and that's the nature of a stakeholder, they might have specific expectations or requirements in you and the platform itself. As you can see on the examples in this slide, the security team or CISO focuses on several key aspects of your platform strategy, such as shifting left, automating as much as possible, and remediating security-related issues quickly. And in their role as a stakeholder, they also expect the platform to be secure by default, with embedded and automated compliance and paved paths to eliminate security variants across teams and to reduce shadow IT. And this all means plenty of the metrics we mentioned earlier, such as DORA or DevX or HART, are less relevant and important for this particular stakeholder. Even if the capabilities we measure, such as cycle time or MTDR, build the foundation to achieve those security-focused goals, such as remediating vulnerabilities or misconfigurations quickly or recovering from a security breach. In my view, the greatest obstacle to more sophisticated success measurement is our continued habit of thinking, measuring, and communicating inside out rather than user centric or outside in. Let me explain. It's important to remember that platforms exist to serve users, not the other way around. Outside in thinking ensures relevance. Metrics and feedbacks align with what users actually need, not what the platform team assumes. It accelerates the adoption because solutions resonate with users because they address real pain points. And last but not least, it ensures business impact because success is measured by outcomes rather than output. If we want to treat both users, stakeholders, and sponsors as partners and not just consumers of our metrics, dashboards, and success data points, we need to ensure that our metrics and conclusion reflect their view. So we need to convert our findings into something which matters to the recipient perspective and their own definition of success. And we also need to ensure that they agree with our conclusion. What helps us getting there is to start with jobs to be done and identify what users hire our platform to accomplish. We need to co-create success criteria to jointly define what good looks like. And we absolutely have to communicate in recipient language to ensure a common understanding of terms and goals. So by anchoring success measurement and feedback loops in recipient needs, platform teams build trust, drive adoption, and amplify their impact on business outcomes. I won't be able to explain this whole concept here, but applying success measurement to all four layers requires changing the way we collect and use data and how we transform it from data points to insights, and finally drive improvement in outcomes. Closed feedback loops are critical, and insights need to be verified by recipient and stakeholders. So here's the short version of the right side. First, we need to set clear goals and objectives. I personally prefer using OKRs since it already includes measurement guidance. Data needs to be gathered across a variety of sources and tools and analyzed the same way we do with marketing or business data. Insights needs to be validated to ensure accuracy and relevance and to provide a starting point for the design of improvement solutions. So each phase builds upon insights gained in the previous one, helping us to avoid jumping directly from data to conclusions and actions. Only verified and acknowledged outcomes count as success and then drive further improvements in outcomes. So let's wrap up, but not without touching on another important area first. Over the years, I maintained a long but growing list of pitfalls to avoid in the context of success measurement. But probably those two quotes summarize nearly everything pretty well. Justin just recently shared a comprehensive list of the most common root causes for success measurement failures, as you can see on the left. But the one I use on a regular basis as kind of a checklist is John Cutler's list of 3 fundamental problems around vanity metrics. So each time someone tells you about success or success metrics, or you are communicating those to others, check against those 3 things first before you move on. And with that, let me quickly recap some takeaways from this session. Success measurement is about outcomes, not just outputs. Use a layered approach and combine robust frameworks with context-specific metrics and a tailored messaging across all layers and stakeholders. Avoid common pitfalls, think outside in, and follow the data to outcome value chain. Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn more about the 4-layer model, I'm working with the platformengineering.org community to get a more comprehensive guidance on this topic published soon. So don't miss it out, and if not done yet, subscribe to the platformengineering.org newsletter or follow me at LinkedIn or Medium. And with that, thanks for watching, enjoy PlatformCon.